Hello Scorpio, my name's Keith Haswell and I'm a professional astrologer with over 40 years experience in the business now and 30,000 clients worldwide and 150 YouTube videos up there now on all aspects of personal and spiritual growth. 36 of my CDs are up there on my website available for download. And it's my pleasure to welcome you, Scorpio, to this particular analysis of your cycles for 2015. For the balance of 2015, we're starting in February. And what I'm going to do for you here, Scorpio, is to first of all tell you a few things about yourself. That's always a lot of fun, to know how you are in terms of astrological analysis and the energies that go through you, understanding that this is a lifetime situation, so a lot of the things that I talk about can be for the past and a lot can be for the future and therefore difficult to relate to. And then I'm going to look at the movements of the planets through the houses of your horoscope, the Sun, Venus, Mars, Jupiter and Saturn. As they move through the houses of your horoscope, Scorpio, they bring about certain events and conditions in your life. Now, you're a very deep person, Scorpio, very deep, intense, very introspective and reflective. You spend a lot of time thinking and reflecting upon aspects of your nature that you're working on to develop. You're all the time trying to transform yourself and to bring about changes internally. And you've got a lot to deal with because you're a very highly sexed sign. And it's a lot of energies that you have going through your chakras and therefore giving you a lot of tests in life. It's a very testing type of a sign because it's the 8th sign associated with the 8th house, which is the house of tests and inner transformation through those tests. And so yes, you're very deep, very intense, highly sexed, and you've got a lot of difficulties inside of yourself. And you're hard to get close to and to get to know. You're rather a mystery package. You're very goal-oriented when it comes to money matters, and you've probably got money coming in from 2 different sources. Now, you seem to be very reserved in terms of your speech, Scorpio. You don't openly engage in idle chatter. You keep a lot of things to yourself. And you're very practical when it comes to organising and planning things, and also very, very practical when it comes to motor vehicles as well. You look after your car and you handle it well. Now, you live in an unusual domestic environment. Probably you cohabitate with your spouse more so than getting married. And you live near an airport or a freeway at some time in your life. There could be high tension wires in the near vicinity of your neighbourhood. And you seem to have a strong leaning towards the mystical and spiritual side of life and the futuristic New Age philosophy, especially in the later part of your life. Your parents, there's strange circumstances there to do with your parents. Perhaps one of your parents separated and your other parent remarried, and therefore you had an adoptive type of a parent. Now, you do get involved in secret romantic attachments, Scorpio. You can't help yourself there, and you're attracted towards drugs and alcohol recreationally as well. Now, you love water sports as well, so you certainly have had your fair share of interest in boating and water sports and things like that. You work with a number of people who were born overseas. You could travel overseas or distantly interstate for work purposes at some time along the way. And you seem to have maybe a domestic pet that is a foreign type of pet. You wear a uniform in your job at some time in your life, Scorpio, and you possibly go into business for yourself and maybe employ people at some time in life as well. There can be an accident connected with the job at some time, and you can have an accident involving a domestic pet too at some time along the way. You might run over a dog, or you might get scratched by a cat or something of that nature. Now, your spouse is a very attractive person by all standards, and they seem to be rather practical and down to earth, with a love of rich food and things like that, but they can be a little bit possessive, Scorpio. Now I'm going to look at the movements of your planets through the houses of your horoscope, Scorpio, and I'm going to put it on a timeline for you. So it'll be on a week-by-week basis to make it easy for you to follow. We start off on the 20th of February with the Sun is in the 5th house of your horoscope, bringing a lot of focus upon the social side of your life from that time onwards for a month, and matters relating to children come to your mind. On the 21st of February, Mars moves into the 6th house of your horoscope and remains there for 2 or 3 weeks. With Mars in the 6th house of your horoscope, Scorpio, there can be stresses and tensions on the job, accidents on the job, stresses with people that you work with, and a bit of tension to do with health and dietary matters. On the 22nd of February, Venus moves into the 6th house of your horoscope and remains there for 2 or 3 weeks. With Venus in the 6th house of your horoscope, there's pleasant social activities with people that you work with for 2 or 3 weeks, Scorpio. On the 18th of March, Venus moves into the 7th house of your horoscope, bringing a great deal of love and affection for your partner, a strengthening of relationships if you're not in one, and very good stars for you generally to do with the dealing with the public and social activities out there with restaurants and places of amusement. On the 21st of March, the Sun moves into the 6th house of your horoscope, Scorpio, and for 30 days it remains there, bringing robust health and good stars for you for the focus upon social activities connected with the job. On the 1st of April, April Fool's Day, Mars moves into the 7th house of your horoscope and remains there for 2 or 3 weeks. With Mars in the 7th house, your partner can be a bit assertive and dominant in their nature, and there can be some conflicts in relationships. On the 12th of April, Venus moves into the 8th house of your horoscope, Scorpio, and for 2 or 3 weeks brings a boost financially, joint finances. And it's also very favourable for interest in the mystical and deeper side of life. It does heighten your sex drive, especially if you're female. On the 21st of April, the Sun moves into the 7th house of your horoscope and remains there for 30 days. With the Sun in the 7th house of your horoscope, there's a focus upon your partner and your spouse, a strengthening of relationships. On the 8th of May, Scorpio, Venus moves into the 9th house of your horoscope and remains there for 2 or 3 weeks, seeing good stars for travel, foreign travel, interstate travel and so forth, social activities with people that you've gone through an education process with, and social activities focusing through in-laws. On the 12th of May, Scorpio, Mars moves into the 8th house of your horoscope, and for 2 or 3 weeks there's arguments and conflicts potentially there with your partner to do with joint finances, and a lot of inner turmoil inside of yourself, a heightening of your sex drive if you're male. On the 22nd of May, the Sun moves into the 8th house of your horoscope and remains there for 30 days, Scorpio. With the Sun in the 8th house, you're very deeply introspective and reflective. It's your sign. When I say your sign, it's your house. And the 8th house of your horoscope is equivalent to the 8th sign, what you might say. So there's a lot of introspection and reflection. Seems to be a boost financially for your partner. On the 6th of June, Venus moves into the 10th house of your horoscope, and for 2 or 3 weeks, Scorpio, you've got fantastic stars for a promotion and advancement in career. Business will go well. Favourable stars socially with parents if they're still alive. On the 22nd of June, the Sun moves into the 9th house of your horoscope, Scorpio, and it remains there in the 9th house for 30 days. With the Sun in the 9th house, there's potential for travel, a lot of social activities with in-laws if they play a prominent part in your life, and educational matters, adult education and philosophy and so forth occupies your attention. On the 25th of June, Mars moves into the 9th house of your horoscope. There's danger with travelling. Be very careful of accidents whilst travelling. There can be arguments and conflicts with in-laws and arguments and conflicts to do with religious and spiritual differences. On the 20th of July, Scorpio, Venus moves into the 11th house of your horoscope, and for 2 or 3 weeks you've got extremely good stars through friends, club activities, group social functions, other people's children, and a great deal of happiness there for the formation of new friendships. On the 23rd of July, Scorpio, the Sun moves into the 10th house of your horoscope, and for 30 days you've got high ambitions, good stars in business and career, good stars for social activities with parents. On the 26th of July, Venus goes retrograde. Now, when a planet goes retrograde, Scorpio, it impacts negatively upon the houses that it rules, not the house that it sits in. And Venus rules your 7th house and 12th houses. So therefore, matters relating to your spouse or partner, they can have bad judgment or secret worries or something like that they dump on you. And Venus impacting negatively on the 12th house of your horoscope will bring a few secret worries for you generally in life to do with relationships and money. On the 1st of August, Venus moves into the 10th house of your horoscope, and it's still in a retrograde motion going backwards, so it's still impacting negatively on those 2 houses. On the 9th of August, Mars moves into the 10th house of your horoscope, Scorpio, and remains there for 2 or 3 weeks. With Mars in the 10th house, there can be conflicts with government departments, tensions and conflicts in career or business. It's not a good time for job interviews, and there can be conflicts with parents. On the 24th of August, the Sun moves into the 11th house of your horoscope and remains there for 30 days, seeing a focus upon friends, group activities, club activities, and joint prospects. Now, on the 8th of September, Venus goes direct, and now it's in the 10th house going direct, so it's very favourable for job interviews, expansion in business, and social activities with parents, if they're alive. 24th of September, the Sun moves into the 12th house of your horoscope for 30 days. With the Sun in the 12th house, you can have bad judgment. It's a good time for solitude and introspection and reflection and aspiration toward the divine. But you can be your own worst enemy when the Sun is in the 12th house of your horoscope. So just be careful of your judgment on decisions and choices that you make. Now, on the 26th of September, Scorpio, Mars moves into the 11th house of your horoscope. For 2 or 3 weeks, there's conflicts with friends. A lot of extra energy there to do with friends and other people's children, accidents involving friends. Can be a lot of vigorous sporting interests of a group nature there. On the 9th of October, Venus moves into the 11th house of your horoscope, and for 2 or 3 weeks, Scorpio, there's good stars for the formation of friendships and happiness socially through other people's children, perhaps through your kids. On the 24th of October, the Sun moves into the 1st house of your horoscope for 30 days, Scorpio. With the Sun in the 1st house of your horoscope, Scorpio, you got for 30 days a great opportunity to commence or start new projects that originate from your own creativity and energy and brilliance. The 9th of November, Venus moves into the 12th house of your horoscope, and for 2 or 3 weeks there's a propensity to get involved in secret romantic attachments. Either that, or you'll have friends who pour their own troubles upon you. You may have to visit somebody in hospital or something like that. On the 13th of November, Mars moves into the 12th house of your horoscope, and if you're a male, you can get involved in a secret relationship. There's a lot of stresses and tensions there within yourself, and you can have bad judgment, so just be careful of your judgment whether you're male or female. On the 23rd of November, the Sun moves into the 2nd house of finances and remains there for 30 days, Scorpio. With the Sun in the 2nd house of finances, there's a focus upon money, spending, accumulating, and matters relating to your security. On the 6th of December, Venus moves into the 1st house of your horoscope, and that's a beautiful cycle if you're in the market for a romance or a love affair. It's a good cycle for your outgoing and your affections. You'll have good luck and good fortune with personal initiatives and interests, and you'll be very affectionate and sociable. Now, on the 23rd of December, Scorpio, the Sun moves into the third house of your horoscope for 30 days. And with the Sun in the third house, there's a focus upon relatives, neighbours and social activities revolving around relatives and neighbours. On the 30th of December, the last one that we come to, Venus moves into the second house of finances, and for 2 or 3 weeks, Scorpio, there's a boost financially, a lot of extra money coming in, but also a lot of extra money going out, Scorpio. Now I go to the movements of Jupiter for you. Now Jupiter is retrograde, and when a planet is retrograde, as I say, it impacts negatively upon the house that it rules, not the house that it sits in. And Jupiter is retrograde on the 1st of February and remains retrograde until the 9th of April. So during this time, Scorpio, you've got potential for bad judgment. Jupiter is the embodiment of the second ray of love, wisdom. So therefore your wisdom departs you when Jupiter is retrograde, and you have bad judgment therefore. So you've got bad judgment to do with money matters and matters relating to your security. And the 5th house is also impacted negatively, so romance, love, the social side of life, and decisions and choices to do with the social side of your life and to do with children. You can have bad judgment. On the 9th of April, Jupiter goes direct and remains in the 10th house, then direct right up until the 12th of August, bringing very good stars in business and career. It's a good time for expansion in business, Scorpio, and it's a very good time for you for taking on extra business and also having a job interview or seeking a promotion or advancement. It can see a parent travelling overseas, or you travelling with a parent, or a parent visiting you, or you visiting a parent overseas. On the 12th of August, Jupiter moves into the 11th house of your horoscope and remains direct in the 11th house of your horoscope for the balance of the year, seeing a great deal of happiness through friends, a lot of group activities and club activities, and you'll really have a possibility of a journey overseas with a friend. Now we look at Saturn for you, Scorpio. Saturn starts off the year in the second house of finances, and it's in the second house of finances for your whole year. So therefore, you've got frustrations and difficulties there with regard to money matters and matters relating to your sense of security, which you've already been feeling in the last 6 months or so. But with Saturn in the second house of your horoscope, if you're very practical and well organised and planning your finances carefully and meticulously, you can make a lot of money. But you've got to be wise, and you've got to use the law of economy wisely with the expenditure of money when Saturn is in the second house of finances. Now it goes retrograde from March to August. With Saturn retrograde between March and August, it's impacting negatively upon the 3rd house and the 4th house. 3rd house of relatives, problems with your motor vehicles and things like that, and matters relating to family, domestic matters, parents and property. So it's not a good time for investments in property when Saturn is retrograde, impacting on the 4th house of your horoscope, okay? And that's as far as I go for you as far as your transitory influences are concerned, Scorpio. But look, the most important cycles that astrology has 2 different types of cycles that they can work with to be able to be on the predictive side to help you to become more of who you really are and to understand what's coming up in your future. One is the transitory influences, and I've just done them for you, the movements of the planets by transit, which is the actual movement of the planets through the houses of your horoscope, and they impact upon you in a certain way. Transitory influences can be changed by your own willpower and determination. So the things that I've just portrayed for you are not fixed events, but things that you can change. Then there's the progressions. Progressions are based on your individual horoscope chart, whereas those transitory influences that I've just given you are based on your sun sign or your rising sign. So therefore, the most important factor is your progressions, because it's based on your individual chart and it's to do with the symbolic movements of the planets through the houses of your horoscope, and as they form impact with the planets in your horoscope at the time of your birth. So it works on the basis of the movement of the planet in one day is equal by progression to the movement in 1 year. So therefore, if we want to look at where the planets are by progression when you're 30 years of age, Scorpio, all we have to do is to look at where they were 30 days after you took your first breath. And if you want to look at where the planets are by progression when you're 45, we just look at where they were when you were 45 days old. So that's the way that progressions work. And these are part of what's called a roadmap in your life, Scorpio. A roadmap that is set out by yourself, not anybody else. That's part of your karma and your destiny, and these events will happen. It's a roadmap that you've set out for yourself in order to experience certain impacts upon your consciousness throughout this particular lifetime, so that you can learn and grow and reach and stretch and learn to develop certain qualities within yourself that your higher self regards as you lacking in. So therefore, these major events in your life can be impacts financially, good and bad, entering contracts or agreements, dealings with relatives and neighbours, good and bad, changes in residence, romantic attachments, breakups in relationships, marriage, birth of children, death of those around you, changes in your job, health impacts, both positive and negative, and breakups in relationships, divorce, separation, death of others around you, journeys overseas, adult education, career or business changes, career and business expansion and failure, formation of friendships, breakups of friendships, all of these things, and bouts in hospital operations, things like that. All of these things are there planned by you before you came into life, Scorpio, so that you could experience certain events and impacts upon your consciousness in order to develop certain qualities, principles and values that your higher self reckoned that you were lacking in. So this is a roadmap in your life that comes from your progressions. Now this is not based on you as a Scorpio rising sign or sun sign. It's based on your individual horoscope, and for me to do that for you I need your birth details. Now most astrologers charge between $60 and $150 depending on their expertise to do your progressions for you over a period of 2 or 3 years, right? But I'm going to do them for you free of charge. All you got to do is go to my website and submit your birth details through the Your Horoscope page of my website. It doesn't matter if you've had your horoscope done by me in the past. Submit it again, because this is a new service of mine, and I'm prepared to do your progressions over the next 30 months for you free of charge, okay? So there's a lot of other things there in my website too. There's 12 CDs there that you can download on all aspects of personal and spiritual growth and meditation and things like that to help you, Scorpio, to become more of the giant that you truly are. Subscribe to my videos, because I'm pumping out new videos all the time, and yeah, let's have some fun together and let's help you to become more of who you really are. Now the website address has no doubt popped up on the screen by now, so you've got the opportunity there to be able to write that down, come to the website, let's get together and look at your personal horoscope from your roadmap in life that you've set for yourself, and let's help you to understand what's coming up so that you can actually get the full advantage of the opportunities that are there presented for you in the future. So I thank you for your attentiveness here, Scorpio, and look forward to working further with you should you decide to submit your birth details. Thank you.